Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Who You'd, an unofficial Doctor Who watch along podcast where we go through every single Doctor Who story in release order.
Starting from the 1970s.
Yes,
We did start the podcast in our early time.
started in color, so we did John, we did all of Tom, and now, finally, after all this time, we're here. It's the fifth Doctor, Peter Davison, his first serial.
Are you not gonna clap, Ben? No clapping? We did
Yay!
it.
So today we're talking about Castrovalva, but before we jump into it, my name is Ben, and I'm here with Cam. How you doing today, Cam?
I'm doing good. The Sarah Jane, the K9 and Company episode
Yeah.
made me go back to Torchwood. So I've been watching the occasional Torchwood episode, and then last night I decided to listen to a Torchwood Big Finish. I never really got into the Torchwood Big Finish
Oh,
stuff.
one of their monthly ranges,
Yes.
or
In particular, I listened to the one that people consider to be the best one, which is an episode called Broken, and I thought that was really good. So I listened to 2 or 3 more today while I was just cleaning up my apartment, and I am very intrigued. I think I'm gonna listen to more of it. I think that the Torchwood Big Finish stuff it's pretty good. It helps that it's not like Doctor Who where I'm gonna nitpick more and like there's gonna be some stuff where I'm like, okay, I've seen there's been so much Doctor Who that's like, okay, I know what it can get kind of the Big Finish stuff can kind of get like, all right, I know I've seen this before. But with the Torchwood, it's like there's still enough new ideas there that they could do cool shit with.
yeah,
And so far I've been engaging with it pretty well.
having 40 episodes instead of 40 years worth
Yeah.
to draw upon and expand on. They can, I imagine, have a lot more freedom to do interesting things with the characters.
Yeah. Even though that some of them it's like very limited just because of the like, you know, the some, sorry to spoil this, Ben, but some characters die. But it's cool that they're exploring those characters and I'm curious to delve more into it. Like I know that there's like a Torchwood one series that's all about like the first not the first Torchwood, but like the Torchwood like main base. And then there's like Torchwood Soho, and then like there's like a series that is the continuation of Torchwood, so like Torchwood season
Yep.
5 and 6. I think I'm gonna delve into it.
Cool. I will look forward to that very, very eventually. Like, I don't know, year and a half. It's about a year before we get to series one, I think.
But like even that, it's like you're gonna have once you get to the new series, there's gonna be so much stuff that you can consume that it's gonna be a little bit like you have to be selective, you know. It's not like the first and second Doctor where it's like, okay, there's only a couple of comic books and couple of annuals. Once you get to like New Who, it's like they release so much like books
Oh, yes.
and just so much content through those eras that you're gonna have to be somewhat selective of what you're gonna dive into.
Speaking of annuals, I was able to acquire a 1982 Doctor Who annual off of eBay for pretty cheap,
Cool.
which is it for the first year of Davison's run. So it has this trio of companions. I skimmed it. It looks neat. I'm holding off to really delve into it until we're
Hmm.
further along here. Don't want to get spoilers or anything. Though I doubt there would be pretty much anything.
And do you know anything about season 19?
Well, I know about Earthshock, of course, both who comes back and who goes away, the circumstances surrounding both of which I'm unaware of, other than
Okay,
just the fact that that happens. I'm
okay.
not gonna say spoilers for the 40-year-old episode, just in case. But yeah, that's basically it.
How's it been going for you, Ben?
Things are fine. Doing a lot of work. It's Taylor Swift weekend at the movie theater for her Life of a Showgirl album. There's a little it's not a movie.
Yeah,
I don't really know what it
a
is.
theatrical experience.
That's a good way to describe it. Yeah. I've glanced in, I see, looked in the window and all I see is like her face in the corner and there are like lyrics and it's like, yeah, okay. Not enough of a crowd for or I mean, there's a pretty good crowd, but compared to the size of the theater, I feel like that's something you would wanna, like, go to the big theater where there's gonna be 200 people and not 20
Oh
and
yeah.
have them all singing and dancing or whatever.
But also it's like it's weird to sing it's a weird thing because it's just the album just came out. So it's like why would you wouldn't even know, you know?
Well, that's what the lyric are for, so you can
But
sing
like
along. And let's face it, the people who are going to it have probably already listened to the album, even though it came out yesterday.
yeah, but not like maybe I'm an insane person, but like I wouldn't want to sing along to a song like even my second or third or fourth or fifth listen. It's like that's something that comes in like the 50th listen.
I'm not sure, but this is not a Taylor Swift podcast. This is a Doctor Who
Oh God,
podcast.
imagine.
Oof.
we're going from the beginning. We're listening to every Taylor Swift album and talking about
How
it.
many are there even? I can't imagine there's more
12 or
than,
13.
like, yeah, 12 or 13. She has 12,
Hmm.
which there's never been more than 2 years between albums. She's really pumps them out. Although I shan't say more so the Swifties don't
Hmm.
attack us. But Doctor Who, again today we're talking about Castrovalva, the first serial of season 19. This is of course John Nathan Turner's second season, and this is the one where he has had input in who the Doctor is.
Shit, I didn't look up. Dude, I should have looked up before this of why he cast Peter Davison.
I thought it was just like he wanted a popular actor and he was in the public consciousness because of he was in that other show that he was popular on, All Creatures Great and Small. And I think that they liked it on All Creatures Great and Small. So he said, "Hey, you should be the Doctor."
Yeah. And of course, the big thing about him is the youngest doctor at the time, only being 26 years old.
Which only to be beaten by like Matt Smith, right?
No, yeah, Peter Davison was only 29 when he played the spot, which is a doesn't sound that young because we have, of course, Matt Smith, but still pretty young when you compare him to like Tom Baker and John Pertwee,
Yeah.
especially when you consider like Cotnell.
When it's traditionally the Doctor has been a figure who's like an elder, someone of age and wisdom. Having it be a guy in his 20s is a little unusual, which maybe that'll play into his character, that he's more of like Tegan's buddy and not Tegan's uncle or whatever. I don't know. Not grandfather, but we will see how things progress. We'll talk a bit more about Davison a bit later. But this was written by Christopher H. Bidmead, who did Logopolis just the previous episode ago.
It was the season 18 script editor.
Yes. And he will go on to do Frontios in season 21. This was directed by Fiona Cumming, who will go on to direct a couple more Fifth Doctor stories: Snake Dance, Enlightenment, and Planet of Fire.
A rare woman director. I think this is the first time a woman has directed since Patty Russell for Horror Fan Rock.
Could very well be.
I believe that is the case. I don't remember us talking about another woman director.
Yeah, no, you're probably right. Damn. Graham Williams. You didn't think they could do it.
And then before that, I think it was just Patty Russell. I think Patty Russell was the only woman.
Oh, and this was broadcast January 4th through January 12th, 1982 on BBC One.
And of course, the big thing about this is that for the first time, it wasn't on a Saturday tea time slot.
Is this prime time?
Yeah, it was twice weekly, so Monday and Tuesday slot. I don't know the time slot, but
Gotcha.
like yeah, I feel like it makes more sense that like to have like a serial go on for 2 weeks instead of a serial going on if it's a four
For a
parter
month?
for a month.
Yeah.
You know, if you don't like a story, then guess what? It's you only have 2 weeks to with the story. It's not like I don't like Doctor Who this month.
Yeah. Really condenses it so you don't have to wait so long. But I guess that also means you only have Doctor Who on air for what, 2 months, 3 months?
Like 3 to 4.
But yeah. So Cam, what did you think of Cast?
Are we not going to talk about any of the other new stuff? Because there's also Eric Sayward is the script editor. He is this is the first time he script edited. He's not the solo script editor this season. The others, he of course goes on to write Earthshock and many of the other big episodes, and then continues on to be the script editor for the Sixth Doctor era. Big role in '80s Doctor Who is Eric Sayward. Another thing behind the scenes wise is that I don't know if you saw, but there was going to be originally another story that this was going to be, but then they had to replace it. So this wasn't the first story that Peter Davison filmed as the Doctor, which John Nathan Turner thought that maybe was going to be a good idea. So then, like, Peter had some time to like understand how he was going to play this role,
Mhm.
and then also new title sequence, I guess.
It's really the same, just with Peter Davison's face.
Yeah. So if you want to know more about that, you can go to our Leisure Hive episode where we talk much more about the titles and the theme song. What do you think of Peter's face?
It's a good face. He seems like a nice chap. It seems like it's better than Tom's. Tom's looks like, I think you described it as like they clicked the shutter button a couple seconds too late, so like he had already like stopped making the face he wanted to make.
I feel like my thing with Peter is that I wish it was a little bit more expressive. There's still something like, give me a little bit more emotion, Peter. Like, what is the emotion there that he's giving? He's like it's slightly happy. It's not full happy, it's slightly happy.
It's
It's like I have to look happy for John Nathan Turner to make him happy.
yeah, somewhere in the middle between content and determined. Like there's that is a stare that he's given. Maybe we should also worth noting, we have a cold open for part 1. We just jump
Yes, we
straight.
do.
It's just the end of Logopolis with, I think, slight tweaks to, like, dialogue timing.
Which did they do that for Robot?
A cold open, that's a good question.
They did not do that for Robot. So I think this might be one of the first times in Doctor Who that they did it. Nothing's coming to mind from the third and fourth Doctor era for me.
What about was Spearhead wasn't, was it?
Spearhead could have been. That's a good point. Spearhead would be another one where I could imagine that
No, it wasn't.
he crashes down. Yeah. So I think this might be the first cold open. There might be another one that we're just not thinking of, but it possibly very much possibly could be. Three Doctors is the only other one, right? Because Three Doctors, no, I'm thinking of Five Doctors, never mind. But it makes sense why they did this because remember how little viewers saw Logopolis? Only like 6 million. For reference, this got episode 1 got 9.1 and it had a high of 10.4 in pot 4. So a lot more people tuned in for this story. So just giving them a little bit of context, especially since how much the first part of this leans into.
Yeah, it's very much a direct continuation of Logopolis.
So Ben, before we get into our thoughts, give us the synopsis of this episode.
Sure. Just so we're all on the same page, this is courtesy of the Doctor Who Classic YouTube channel. Confined to a wheelchair after his traumatic regeneration, the Doctor and his companions visit the peaceful city of Castrovalva to recuperate. Wandering about the city, Nyssa and Tegan realize that it has no consistent layout. As the city begins to disintegrate around them, the Doctor realizes it is not real. It is a block transfer computation created by the Master.
So I read that and that's what I was like, all right, we have to do a synopsis of going forward. We're gonna pull from random things. I think that's so interesting because they just spoiled the fucking episode there. That's the
Yeah,
episode. Do you need to watch the episode after reading that synopsis?
spoils the big twist. Or I guess maybe we should have put even a spoiler in front of that. That the big twist is that Castrovalva is not real. It's a machination of the Master, a trap to ensnare him.
I get that in the synopsis if it's like that happens at the end of like pot 2 even, but that happens at like the end of pot
Yeah,
3. Like that it's so
that's the climax of the story.
that is so like far through the story that's like why are you giving that as a synopsis?
So much more in like part 1 and 2, I would have mentioned, and
Yeah.
not the end of the story. But whatever. Cam, what do you think of Castrovalva?
All right. So I've tried to watch this multiple times in my life. I remember I got this as a young little boy. Must have been either like in the realm of 10 to 12. I got this. I popped it in. I always thought I got halfway through it. I think I got more because I remember Castrovalva. I at least got to part 3. I don't know if I even completed all of part 3, but I was like, I never continued it. I was pretty bored by the story as like a 11 and 12-year-old.
Mhm.
Then when the Blu-ray came out, I rewatched it. I still didn't get through all the way through it. I think I got halfway through it that time. I don't even know if I made it to Castrovalva. And now finally, I finished watching Castrovalva, and I can say I still find it really boring. And I don't know if I did this podcast if I would have watched the full story because it's
Really?
just there's something about it that just doesn't keep my interest. Maybe it's just because it doesn't have like I don't think it has a good like propulsion. It doesn't have like a good rhythm. It's mostly like this first half or even first 75% of the story is just the doctor just wandering on the TARDIS, going to like the zero gravity room, and then the master's just crackling and just being like, "Ah, I'm evil." And then it's Tegan and Nyssa just being like, we gotta do something. We had to do something there." And then it's them just bringing the doctor to Castrovalva.
Yeah.
It's like, and then when we get to Castrovalva, I don't really find Castrovalva to be that interesting because it's like, I don't know. I just find it. This is just something where I'm like, I can't engage with a story. Are you different, Ben? Were you able to engage with Castrovalva?
Sure, yeah. I don't think it was particularly riveting,
Yeah.
but I thought it was interesting. I think it's like the first part and a half on the TARDIS. That's probably where I got the most enjoyment out of it, we're wandering, we're seeing more of the TARDIS, we're learning more. Got the Zero Room, we got the Cloister Bells, we get no Adric. We get holographic projection, or whatever the exact term is, Adric. The Doctor in his post regeneration sickness, where we see little he's all his mind is addled and we see little glimpses like, oh, that's Hartnell, that's Troughton, that's Pertwee.
Which, of course, this is like the beginning of the show doing stuff like that. The before I would say the Fifth Doctor, the show wasn't really referential.
No, not at all.
Very, very much like it would happen occasionally. Like once a season, you would get like a hit. You're like, oh, they're referencing that thing.
Yeah. Like Tom said, yeah, that was Vicky's outfit. And that was like, holy shit, cinema.
While now you're getting too much more. While we are approaching the 20th anniversary season, it becomes much more referential and much more like, hey, remember that?
Hmm. I remember.
Do you remember William Hartnell?
I do. My boy. I mean, it's definitely fan service, but I'm a fan
Yeah.
and I was serviced. So I enjoyed that.
I will say this before you get too much into it. I just want to say this that even though I didn't find the story to be that much engaging, I will say that I do respect the ideas in this story. There is enough interesting stuff here that even for a majority Doctor Who that they wouldn't have this much going on. I like the Castle stuff is interesting, and then as well as like the zero gravity room is interesting, and like you said, exploring the TARDIS more. Benmead, of course, explored the TARDIS a lot in Logopolis,
Hmm.
and he's just continuing that. I think that's a really cool thing that he finds this cool mythic object the Doctor has that is rarely explored. He finds it interesting, and I think that I do love that he likes to explore that in the show, where a lot of others don't.
Yeah. It's been almost 20 years. We should explore the TARDIS. It's like the central icon of the show.
But also, it's a magic box.
Yeah. But yeah, because the Doctor is suffering for the majority of this episode, it ends up being mostly a companion focused episode, which I thought was interesting.
A companion focused episode that is mainly two companions that we literally were.
Pretty much just Matt.
Yes, Nissa we were technically introduced, keep her tracking, but we basically just met these people. We did not know Tegan and Nissa at all. And I'm still confused of why they're even there.
Yeah, but we do get more characterization for him. I do feel like I have a better sense. I mean, Tegan, I think, is holding out hope for going back home. She hasn't really fully committed to being a companion.
I do love the stuff with Tegan where she thinks she flies that she's flying the TARDIS.
Yes, the Adric projection that the master did, it just pre-programmed it.
Yep.
I think the kind of middle chunk of this story, where Nyssa and Tegan are just kind of walking in the woods, and okay, now we're at Castrovalva.
Oh no, the wheelchair got in the lake.
Yeah, and now it's short circuited. It doesn't work anymore. The wheels won't roll without electricity. But I think at the end, when the nature of Castrovalva starts to be revealed, and it's a space time trap, all Castrovalva is folding in on itself, and I know I thought all that stuff was very interesting.
It is interesting, but also I did think, not to be too nitpicky, but I was also thinking like how long did the master have to plan all this shit? Did he? Well, I guess he has a time machine, so he could just go back in time, do all this stuff, and then go back to kidnap Adric to then mess with the doctor.
Yeah,
Because remember, he just literally his he just literally had a plan the previous episode, and he somehow very shortly came up with another plan.
the master, he's just that brilliant, I guess. But overall, I liked it. It's not great, but it's not bad.
Yeah.
Some of the dead air in the middle could be tightened up, and you could have a much better story.
Yeah. This could have been a cool three-potter. If like the first pot was like the doctor, and it would have been the first chunk, which I really do like that first chunk. I want to talk about that. Then we get this, then the second chunk would have been like the doctor entering the TARDIS and like post regeneration stuff. The second pot would have been like them going to Castrovalva, and then the third pot would have been the third act of the story,
Yeah,
basically. That probably would have been a much tighter story overall.
agreed.
But yeah, to just go what I just said, like that opening chunk, I think is really good. The stuff where I like how immediately where we pick up where we left off. It's not like, oh, they just literally where we start the story off with them bringing the doctor to the TARDIS. It's no, we're showing the doctor them bringing the doctor to the TARDIS,
Yes.
and then the police come and
They're dealing with the ramifications of what happened in Logopolis other than the regeneration.
I think that also that the camera work there is actually pretty solid. And it is fun when like Tegan takes the ambulance to the TARDIS and
Mhm.
steals it and stuff.
Adric has to make a distraction.
I do like the Fifth Doctor slowly tearing apart the big long scarf. I like that imagery.
It is something I wanted to mention. Like, the first conscious thing that this version of the Doctor does is utterly destroy and unravel Tom's scarf. I suppose it's not the same scarf that has carried him through all of his adventures, but it's his scarf.
Yeah. But it's a good symbolic thing of being like, we're done. We're moving on.
Out with the old, in with the new.
And talking about outfits and new,
Yes.
what do you think of Peter's outfit? Where do you come down? Because the fandom, I would say, is overall pretty mixed on Peter's outfit.
It's a little plain. It seemed, if I understand it correctly, it's trying to invoke the imagery of cricket player.
Yes,
However, I do not know anything about cricket, so it is lost on me.
neither do I, because I am not English or I'm not Indian.
It's definitely very different from Tom's, and I think that's what they were going for. But it's a little plain, it's a little muted, and maybe by the end of things we'll say, "Yep, that's descriptive of Peter Davison."
But see, that's what a lot of people do say.
But we'll have to see at the end.
I respect it for being a Doctor Who costume that children can easily dress up as, especially
Oh
if you're
yeah,
in London, not London, but if you're in the United Kingdom and you can just easily find a cricket shirt and find a tan coat. And guess what? You are the doctor, and you steal celery from your mother's refrigerator, and she gets mad at you, and it's the end of the day. What do you think of the celery? Because of course, at the end of the story, he just somehow has celery in his pockets, and he puts the celery on. Does not mention a word. He just does it.
I thought because when they're at Castrovalva, they one of the first thing he does when he gets there is he's given food, and one of the things he picks up is celery. So I thought, is this the celery from that meal that I think should have disappeared, but maybe it didn't? And this is him remembering the people that disappeared, the friends he made who helped him to the very end, something like that. But it's a little it's one little kind of oddity that I think makes the outfit a little more weird, and I think that's a good thing. But it is just weird.
You can tell that the main thing that John Nathan Turner was vocal about was one, the question marks on the collar, and then two, let's give this doctor a vegetable. Like, yeah, I could just hear John Nathan Turner being like, he needs to wear celery. Well, why? Because kids need to eat celery. It's good for them, you know?
I guess. Yeah. Since we're talking about him, I don't know how much we can say at this point because he is very, very much in post regeneration throes.
Yes.
But in terms of the Doctor and his character, how do you feel about him at this point? Trying to distance from future
Of
knowledge.
course, I have the baggage. If you are a first time listener, I have the baggage of I have watched other Doctor Who. I have watched other Peter Davison episodes, so I know what Peter Davison is like. I think in this, judging just by this performance, I think there's not enough to really judge by because, like you said, he is just in an outer state of consciousness, and then also he's in states of like being the other doctors. But I think in those moments where we do get the doctor, he very much plays the doctor.
Yeah.
You can tell that he is Doctor Who, but like I still don't think there's enough there to really judge. But like when there's a moment where he is in control, I think he does do a good job.
Yeah. While watching it, I was trying to, during those moments, trying to kind of mentally figure out what makes him different from Tom. And I have a general sense of like what I see online, he's the nice doctor.
Yeah.
He's the passive doctor. But yeah, I suppose I want to know more about him and what his distinctive qualities are.
It's not like Robot, where Robot is a big declarative statement.
Robot is a very Tom episode.
It's very much like Tom Baker has arrived, ladies and gentlemen. Well, this one, it's like Peter Davison has arrived.
He's here. Yeah.
We will talk more about Peter Davison, and we'll see how
Maybe in Four to Doomsday, we'll get a better sense.
we will see. Okay, Ben,
Yeah.
you know what I'm gonna miss?
What are you gonna miss?
You're not gonna be able to ask me the question. What do you think of K9 this episode? He's gone, Ben. I-
Okay. I pose a question to you then. Would this story have been better if K9 was here?
What would have K9 done? Would K9 have been like his computer would have just broke, being Castrovalva just being like, I don't know, and this does not make sense. Ah.
That's a good question. I guess it is uncertain how real it is. Would K9's sensors have been able to cut through? Would he have not have seen anything at all? Would he have just seen a mountain?
Would he have just been stuck in the TARDIS the whole episode? Who knows?
Oh, I mean, that's probably a little more realistic. He's not going through the woods.
His battery has been depleted.
His damn battery. But other than K9, who isn't here, what are your thoughts on Tegan at this point?
Like, I like her, but I don't love her. I definitely am looking forward to more interactions of her with the doctor because even though we've had two stories with her, she really hasn't interacted with the doctor at all, especially on a 101 standpoint.
Yeah,
Same with Nyssa. Nyssa has two stories now, or three stories with Nyssa, and like barely any interactions with the two of them together.
yeah. A lot of stuff has happened. The doctor is mostly unconscious for this one. So, how about do Nissa and Tegan with each other seem to have an interesting dynamic?
Yeah. Do you get a sense that a relationship could sprung from this, Ben?
Sure. Yeah.
There is a fanship. I don't know how much you're aware. There's a fanship.
Oh, that kind of relationship.
Yeah, there is a fanship that they are lesbian lovers. Do you get that sense at all?
Uh, no.
We will see. Maybe by the time that Nissa leaves, you're gonna be like, God, I really felt something with the two of them.
I guess I'll see.
You can be like, God, there's some chemistry here in time flight.
Yeah. And then to round it off, Adric is
Mm.
mostly not here.
Some might say for the best.
Putting a pin in that then, how do you feel about Matthew Waterhouse's performance? Because there we do have a hologram magic, and I think he's never been great, but I feel like there was a lot of overacting here.
Yeah. There is. I do find it funny him stuck in like stuck in the master. He's like, I don't know what you call it. It's like
Web?
it's kind of like a web, but it's kind of like
No,
both.
it's
I mean,
literally
like
he calls it a web.
like it's just like lines. It's and he's just always like, "Ah, you can't get away with this."
Yeah,
Like,
but he won't let him hurt his friends.
do you think it would have been better if he was in the story in a more active role?
No. Speaking of the master, he's
Hmm.
here
Yes.
still for the 3rd story in a row. How do you feel about the master?
I like Anthony Ainley as the master.
He's barely in this one, though.
Like I was just gonna say, he's barely in this. He's still for when he is in this, he is so over the top. Like he is playing an 11.
There's still, I say, is missing the energy that Delgado had.
No, no doubt, Ben, that's never coming back, Ben. That's
But
never coming back. No master ever got that. I think I told you, Ben, it's all downhill after Delgado.
I didn't know how good I had it when I had it
No.
till he was gone. Still, one of the greatest tragedies
Oh, yeah.
is his death.
But what do you think of Delgado this episode? Not Delgado, sorry, Anthony Ainley this episode.
He's fine, mostly not here. Just little snippets, and then he is revealed to be the old wise master at the end.
Who could have guessed?
I didn't guess, but yeah, he's here. He's evil. He's maniacally laughing. Beyond that, I don't know.
He goes out in a bad way. Like this is like the people of Castrovalva are just like they just like go after him. They just go all on top of him.
Oh yeah, the last couple seconds where he's like drowning, being pushed to the ground, tearing his clothes, kind of brutal.
No, it's brutal. It's like God damn. He just wanted to take over the universe.
Jeez. I mean, who could blame him? What else to talk about?
I don't know. I don't have much more to say except for it's an interesting story that I just find pretty dull. I understand why somebody would like this story, but I'm just not one of those people.
Yeah. More than anything, I would say it leaves me a lot to look forward to for I feel promise. This isn't excellent, but I feel hope for the future. Any special effects worth mentioning?
The doctor in the zero gravity room
As bad or good?
is bad.
Yeah.
Do you rate that as good effects?
No, it doesn't look good.
It's some classic CSO stuff.
I do kinda again, I know you don't really care for it. I do like Castrovalva at the end there, where it's like the pictures all like split up.
Yeah, no, that is cool imagery.
Like at the end where like we see him walk across the top
Yeah.
and then they're walking upside down along the bottom of the screen. There's some cool imagery there.
No, that is definitely the best special effects in the episode is all that stuff.
And the TARDIS interior as a whole, big more expansion, big consistent with Logopolis, but again, a big upgrade from Invasion of Time.
Oh yeah.
It's worth mentioning.
Also, we just get a room that the doctor has just like a cricket room on the TARDIS.
Yeah, he has many rooms. So, Cam, how would you rate this episode?
I'm gonna go with a clean 7.
Remember, this is will be the basis of comparison for
Yep,
everything moving forward.
it's a clean 7. It's an okay story. Not great, not bad. It's okay, and I think a 7 is a most okay you can get.
I'm gonna do 7.5
Okay,
for an average rating of 7.25.
I think that's a solid average ranking.
And to talk about the polls, as we do, Doctor Who Magazine does a poll about every decade or so, ranking all the stories for each Doctor. Most recently, the poll was in 2023, where out of 20 stories, Castrovalva was ranked 10. So virtually exactly in the middle. This was also the case for 2014. 2009, it was number 7, as same old thing in 98. So very much middle of the road, which I think is pretty much consistent with both of us.
And then in 2014, last time I did a full poll, it ranked 121 out of 241. So basically, it's still right in the middle.
Yeah.
It's not bad, but it's not good. Just okay.
I'm peeking a little bit ahead at what we got coming up. Seems to be a lot of flip flop between pretty good and pretty bad.
Yeah. And you can say that about majority of the seasons.
Like this season is going to end with Earthshock, second best of the era, and then immediately followed by Time Flight, the worst of the era. And it's a similar pattern forward and back.
This era is very inconsistent, but also it is consistent with how inconsistent it is. That it's just like each season has like a good episode, then it's a bad episode, and a good episode, then a bad episode.
That's something.
I shouldn't say that because season seems like season 20. 20 seems like, judging by the poll, 20 seems like it's going to be the weakest.
Let's see. Arc Infinity 16, Snake Dance 9, Modern Undead 8, Terminus 15, Enlightenment 5, King's Demon 18, Five Doctors 3.
And Five Doctors is, you can't really count Five Doctors in season 20, Ben.
I mean, it's kind of its own thing. If you had to append it, it's probably more 20 than
No,
21.
yeah. I'm just saying, not including the Five Doctors, season 20 seems like that's the one that's going to be the
Yeah.
might be the hardest one to get through because it doesn't have that. It doesn't have those highs of an Earthshocker, Kibs, or Nizani.
Yeah.
But also doesn't have the lows of Time Flight or Warriors of the Deep. Two stories that are considered to be the worst stories of all of Doctor Who, Ben. So get ready.
Oh boy. With that in mind, next week we'll be talking about Four to Doomsday, which will have the Doctor, but not crazy. So that's good.
Yeah.
So tune in next week. Like, comment, subscribe. We've kind of stopped saying that a lot, but be sure to do that. It's very helpful. Have a wonderful rest of your day.
Peace out, everyone.